Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You know, first of all, I'll say to Ava, you know, thank you for your leadership. You know, as I look out here today and, you know, I reflect on, I remember I was serving at Fort Bragg with the 2nd Brigade Combat Team of the 82nd when the Tea Party was really first coming about, and I watched the media talk about it. You know, and at first they said, well, this is AstroTurf. This is being funded by some extreme right-wingers, and it's really just all contrived. And then the second narrative that came out is, they're all fat cats. You know, I'll tell you what, I've gone all around the 137 towns, the 10 counties, and I've met with citizens like you guys here tonight. Is anybody here a fat cat? I haven't met a fat cat yet. You know, Ava, you know, things in life don't just happen by chance. You know, leadership has a lot to do with it, and I appreciate you stepping forward and bringing forward and all the energy in this room. Because, you know, what I'll be talking a little bit about tonight is the exceptional nature of our country. And you think about our founding and how we were different from really any other country. But we were founded on the belief that we, the people, we could govern. We could govern through our representatives, but we, the people, could be sovereign. And it's movements like this, when you have individuals that could be anywhere now on a Saturday evening, and yet we've got this, you know, incredible assemblage here, which shows you care. You care deeply. And you know, your leader here, those are some of the most cogent remarks I've heard about the situation we're in right now. And I will also tell you that that's part of the reason why our coalition right now is very broad. You know, we've got Republicans, we've got conservatives, independents, Tea Party movement followers, and we've got Democrats looking for a better way that are part of our campaign, that recognize the fact that this path we're on is really unsustainable. We're not going to be able to keep. Wow, is that some kind of standing ovation out there? But you know, got Murphy stealing your car.
He just had his good.
You know, my family, I'm from Kinderhook, and my wife Mary Jo, she tries to get out with us, you know, as many nights as she can. We have with those 3 kids, so it's tough. She gets out about 4 nights a week, but she sends her regrets. I know that many of you know, a good number of you here in the room here have met her before. She is really enjoying getting to know the citizens all across the 20th district. This is something that we've done together. We're about ready to have our.
It's a Honda Accord.
Honda Accord.
Close, apart from the first row.
Honda Accord, anybody? Okay. I gotta tell you that when this happened in Iraq, this is a problem. Usually it was followed by a boom. Not good. But
Is that?
yeah.
It's a
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah. He's just testing me. Let's see if I can keep my concentration.
Don't worry about that. Sorry, you can have his red shirt.
You know, just talking about Mary Jo, and it's and we have veterans in the room, and no one appreciates this, but so much today, the spouse makes such a huge difference. Because this is a time, like some of the other very tough periods in our country's history, where our servicemen and women are being asked to deploy time and time again. And when that happens, you know, families, these are stressful times, and even some businessmen and women here today, you know, when you have to leave your home, it's tough. And so the spouses at home really have to come together. They have to be there for each other. And, you know, Mary Jo is somebody who is a licensed clinical social worker, you know, and a heart about the size of New York. She really rendered incredible service to our nation as my you know, as my better half in the times that my units were deployed to combat. You know, she was back, and the stress, just trying to keep everybody together, and what rumors can do, and you have to keep good information circulating. And then when we had death, and we had tragic, grievous wounding, you know, the importance of the family readiness group to be able to come together and to be able to provide that support. And so when we look now to this challenge of being involved in the calling of this cause to restore our republic, she's all in. And so she's really enjoying the opportunity to meet so many families. I know she regrets being here tonight, but I wanted you to know that our family recognizes what we're up against, and we're all in for this challenge. And you know, the other thing I'd like you to know about my background is that, and some of you may have seen the ads, you know, I come from a working class family, and I'm proud of that. You know, my dad, you know, he never went to college. He never made a lot of money, but he was a good dad, and he was a great American. You know, he was in the fire department 37 years. He was the president there for a good number of them. He was a very special kind of guy. I mean, I don't know if he ever knew about the color gray. It was all black and white for him, you know. But you know, he was a good man, you know, and he raised 4 kids with my mom, you know, and they were married for just shy of 50 years before he left us a couple of years ago. He's resting now in Saratoga. You know, he spent, you know, in the 1970s, he was part of Otis Elevator. So he was part of the union there. And so I have memories of this experience. You know, I remember going to union picnics and meeting his friends, and that was a good time for our family. But, you know, there were tough times. And so it's important to know about me because I see the tough times we're going through now, and I feel empathetic with it. I know that there are families going through right now what our family went through. Unemployment. I watched my dad in the late 70s. You know, the late 70s was a period, it was tough, like now. And for Otis Elevator, it was very tough. And so Dad spent a good portion of 78, 79 out of work, either laid off or there were some strikes back then as well. And so I watched him collect unemployment. I will tell you that I'm glad we have a safety net. We need unemployment insurance. And we need a transition and get people back to work. But, you know, we have a charitable nation that recognizes that there are tough times. But I share that with you because it's part of why I was the first one in my family to become a Republican. You know, I watched this occur to our country, and I'm looking for answers. I'm a young guy at the time, 15, 16 years old, and I watched the president at the time, Jimmy Carter, who to me seemed like a moral man, seemed like a good guy, but I didn't see leadership there. You know, I watched him address us from the Oval Office. He was wearing a sweater, and he was telling us to turn the thermostat down, and I'm thinking, well, on one hand, I appreciate the candor, but could it really be true that our best days are behind us? Can that really be true? And you know, then we had a presidential candidate come forward, who, by the way, the establishment wanted no part of. They didn't want that guy to be the candidate. There's some great books on it I recommend to you, but Rendezvous with Destiny is the latest one I read last year. But Ronald Reagan, and unlikely, that's right.